Good evening, Council. Jesse Anderson, Principal Planner. Before you, we have the Roan Bridge Community Development District. This is for Ordinance 2022-09. It is for approximately 276.36 acres of land located west of Old Hickory Tree Road and south of East 19th Street. The purpose of the CDD will be to plan, finance, acquire, construct, operate, and maintain at least the following standards: sanitary and sewer facilities, water distribution systems, reuse water systems, stormwater systems, electrical service stations, conservation mitigation, on-site public road improvements, off-site public road improvements, and other infrastructure.
Councilmember Matheny.
I was trying to let somebody else go first. So I think whenever we approve a CDD, that gives the development a lot of buying power. You know, it allows you to bond like a government does, allows you to do a lot of things. And I think there's a lot of responsibility with allowing someone to become a CDD, because I personally feel like most people who purchase inside of a CDD don't quite understand what they're getting into. No matter what packet of papers they get at closing, you know, I've bought a house before, there's a lot of stuff in there, like you get confused. So personally, I thought the application was weak as far as like why we should create a CDD. You know, it says you're going to do utilities and road improvements and things like that. Well, all developments do that. You know, enhanced landscaping, it's not really getting me excited about the idea. It says that there was going to be an amenity, but you haven't started designing, so we don't really know what it is, but we promise we'll do something. I guess so for me, I need a lot more details and meat in this application before I would feel comfortable moving it forward as a CDD.
Councilmember Trace.
Thank you. I was kind of allude to the same thing of just more detail. I think the one across the street brought a lot of detail with amenities, landscape package, things that are over and above what code is. One of the pros that really isn't mentioned a lot of times in these is CDDs do make sure that the community is maintained at a better standard, because they have even more rights than HOAs on ensuring that maintenance of common tracks and also homeowners maintenance happens a lot more. So I'm kind of along the same lines of, if we can bring more detail. I know this is probably the first step in the process, but I mean, there was nothing other than a couple blurbs in here.
Well, I'm kind of feeling the same way. It just seemed like there were so many vague generalities here. I just would certainly like to have something a little more specific. I would be willing to support the first reading, and you bring something back with a little more meat on it, or the second reading definitely would not be approved, I don't think. But that would be my position. Any other discussion? Then I would make a motion for the approval of this first reading, but just making you aware we need more details. Councilmember Trace.
Well, you made a motion, so I'll wait for a second.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion from the mayor and a second from Councilmember Askew.
So I do have a question. Mr. Manzares, does this in any way force us to have the same motion for a second hearing, or is that us giving the direction enough?
This is basically, commonplace way of looking at it is the council said, okay, we're willing to consider this for final hearing. The applicant still has to come before you, give you the same, meet the requirements of the statute to establish they met all the requirements of the statute and have all the appropriate findings to do. And I think what they've been indicated is they will be prepared to do that at the second reading.
Okay. Do you guys have enough information to go on?
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I guess, I'm sorry, Mr. Trace, so to answer your question, if they don't meet that burden at the second meeting, then whatever you do tonight it doesn't have to be.
I read between the lines. I got it.
Good. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Urban?
Aye.
Councilmember Askew?
Aye.
Councilmember Trace?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Matheny?
I'm a yes, but I need a lot of detail.
Mayor Blackwell?
Yes, with great expectations.
Motion carries 5-0.